Donald Trump, we know, is basically a Matryoshka doll? How do you say that? Of lies and mendacity. Basically, he'll lie, then he'll lie about lying, then he'll lie about lying about lying, and then he'll lie about lying about lying about lying. And that's what
George Conway took to the airwaves and methodically dismantled Donald Trump, exposing his fabrications, legal woes, and self-absorbed nature with surgical precision.
Here's the rub. He doesn't think there's anybody else in the world other than him.
Right.
Because he is the world's ultimate narcissist. So, in his universe, he is the only person, and he is certainly the only person that matters. We don't really exist. We are just sort of objects of.
Before Trump could even adjust his signature comb-over, Conway delivered a devastating critique that left the former president floundering like a malfunctioning wind-up toy. What made it all the more remarkable? Conway never resorted to theatrics or raised his voice. Instead, he laid out Trump's missteps, inconsistencies, and delusions with the calm authority of a seasoned attorney. The result? A takedown so comprehensive that even Trump's famously bronzed complexion seemed to pale in real time. Conway isn't just another political commentator, he's a legal heavyweight. This is the same man who successfully argued Morrison v. National Australia Bank before the U.S. Supreme Court in 2010. Once considered by Trump for a key role in the Department of Justice,
I think everybody overthinks this guy. There's no strategy. There is no thought. And the brand is just him. He lives in this world where there's just him. Okay?
But it's not just him, George. It's a hell of a lot of people out there who've gotten sucked up into this thing and that are perpetuating
I agree with
that brand.
I'm talking about in his mind.
Okay.
None of us matter. Those people don't matter. They're not real people. He doesn't care what happens to them. If they show him adulation and they do what his bidding, that's good. If they don't do his bidding, he will destroy them. He will discard them. None of us, in his mind, okay, he's someone as a man with no empathy, a man with no conscience.
Conway wisely sidestepped the chaos, avoiding the political landmine that ensnared so many others. And the irony? He's married to Kellyanne Conway, one of Trump's most dedicated former advisors. A real-life example of how politics creates the strangest of alliances. During his latest public remarks, Conway didn't just skim the surface, he dove in deep. He dissected Trump's worldview, illustrating how the former president operates with a singular focus: himself. Others,
Therefore, he can violate no laws because he is the law. He interprets the law. And not only that, according to Napoleon, apparently that is allegedly a quote from Napoleon, translated from the French, which obviously he does not speak. He is saving the country, and therefore, from Sleepy Joe, who was out there just running amok over everything because he was so energetic. And he is saving the country, therefore he can violate no laws, which is convenient because he is the one who gets to decide whether he's violating any laws. So he's already decided it. We don't need a legal system. We don't need a constitution. It's done. Life is very easy in the world.
In Trump's eyes, exists solely to serve his interests or be discarded at will. He genuinely believes he's the only person that matters, Conway explained. Everyone else? Just supporting characters in his story. It was a brutally honest take. While some still view Trump as a master tactician, Conway cut through the illusion. There's no grand chessboard, no intricate strategy. The brand is just him. But Trump isn't the only problem.
I don't want to diagnose him, but I think if you look at the diagnostic criteria for narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder, he fits every single one of them. It's like the criteria were made to describe him. And I think what we saw with this tweet yesterday is that last final collapse of Donald Trump's mental state. You think about it. Those were like 50, 60, 70,000 people in the aggregate in five rallies in different states. That's loopier than saying that the moon landings were staged, because there were tens of thousands of people were there. To think that is crazy, and to try to sell it to people is just as crazy. He's done. His brain is...
Conway pointed to the legions of supporters who have enabled and sustained his influence. A lot of people have been pulled into this, he observed. And they're the ones keeping it alive. Loyalty for Trump is a one-way street. The moment someone ceases to be useful, they are discarded without hesitation. Conway made it clear, Trump's ability to maintain power isn't due to any political brilliance. It's the result of a movement that refuses to hold him accountable. In the end, Conway's dissection wasn't just about Trump. It was a warning, a reminder that the real story isn't just one man's narcissism, but the machinery that allows it to flourish. With that, Conway exited, having once again proven that he doesn't need to shout to expose Trump. He just needs the truth. If there was ever any doubt about the state of the Republican Party, George Conway put it bluntly, it had become a cult. He divided its members into two categories, those who had fully embraced the illusion and those too afraid to challenge it. And when it came to Trump's never-ending scandals, Conway never had to look far. His presidency was a legal minefield, each controversy a glaring testament to reckless self-sabotage, take the hush money payments, because nothing screams stable leadership like secretly wiring cash to silence adult film stars, only to bungle the cover-up so badly that it turned into criminal charges. Conway took no small amount of satisfaction in dismantling every weak excuse, knowing that Trump's worst enemy was always his own arrogance. Then there was Charlottesville, where Trump hesitated to denounce white supremacists as if condemning Nazis required a political calculus. Conway made sure no one forgot. Real leaders don't waver when confronted with hate. And then came the Mueller investigation. Trump's nonstop efforts to obstruct only worsened his predicament. Firing FBI directors, dangling pardons, intimidating witnesses. It was a slow-motion constitutional disaster, and Conway was more than happy to pick apart every misstep. As another Conway-fueled video went viral, the takeaway was obvious. While Trump floundered, Conway thrived, systematically dismantling the illusion of his invincibility. Trump's rise was built on burning bridges, and no one knows that better than the people he cast aside. Consider Michael Cohen, once his trusted fixer, willing to do whatever it took to clean up Trump's messes. But when the legal pressure mounted, Trump abandoned him without hesitation. Cohen, realizing the futility of loyalty to someone incapable of reciprocating it, flipped in record time, exposing the corruption he once covered up. Classic Trump. He demands loyalty but never returns it. John Bolton followed the same pattern. Hired, praised, and discarded the moment he refused to indulge Trump's foreign policy fantasies. Bolton's Payback? A best-selling book that confirmed every suspicion about Trump's incompetence. The list goes on. Rex Tillerson reportedly left after calling Trump a moron. Jeff Sessions, once a devoted attorney general, was tossed aside the moment he prioritized the law over Trump's whims. Omarosa transitioned from reality show ally to whistleblower. Even Bill Barr, once Trump's loyal legal shield, became a disloyal hack the second he refused to back baseless election fraud claims. The pattern never changed. Trump used people, discarded them, and then watched as they walked away armed with all the receipts needed to take him down. The more he tried to control the narrative, the more it unraveled. Conway didn't create Trump's scandals, he just held up a mirror. And true to form, Trump shattered it. This is the legacy Trump built. A never-ending cycle of ex-loyalists turned critics, each departure marked by damning revelations. Conway simply took the wreckage and arranged it into a portrait of self-inflicted downfall.